Welcome to another fantastic day at Rusted Up Garage. As you can see, we got the old, 58 Rustmobile back in the shop. And it has been several weeks since we've worked on this. We've had a lot of other projects and stuff going, but we're back on the project. Now we have a ton to do in this episode, okay? And we're gonna try to cut it down as much as we can, but we have tons to do, okay? We have to get all the plates blocked off in the front so the water stops running in. We've got to fix the firewall because, as you guys know, it's basically missing and there's no support there. We got to tie up the loose ends in the trunk because we didn't in the last episode, if you watched it. We've got to do a little bit of rust repair, a few places here, because ultimately what we're doing here is we are the final prep before this thing goes into paint. And I don't mean painting the outside. Well, we're gonna clear the outside, but I mean getting all the inside painted and done everything we're gonna do. So this is the final get it ready, maybe fix some of this. Also, if you caught the picture, tin ceiling. This is interesting. This is like some antique tin. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. That's where I do my shopping. And I'm like, God, that is so cool looking. It's old and antique, and this is old and antique. And I was thinking, what could I do with this? Well, you're gonna find out, but you're gonna have to stay tuned to a little bit later on in this video. But you're not gonna wanna miss it because this is gonna be pretty freaking cool. That's all I got to say about that. So stay tuned. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get to work, guys. I'm so excited for this. Woo-hoo, it's gonna be great. Well, guys, I believe we are coming out of the intro to the beginning of this video. Now, we got to put some steel, in a good place for that. We got to put some steel across this to cover all the holes because it's got a lot of them, and we're getting rid of like where the wiper motor sits because that's going to change the inside of the car. We're getting rid of the drains. We're getting rid of the vents. We're getting rid of all the holes, okay? Because we just don't need them for our application. So I was busy in the back doing some stuff, and I put Zach in charge. I'm like, Zach, what you need to do is get yourself some cardboard and make yourself a little template. Now, Zach's a fabricator on the computer, okay? Zach's not a fabricator out here, per se. Now, for me, when I say I'm gonna go use CAD, that means I'm gonna use cardboard aided designs, okay? With scissors. Well, I'm back there working. Next thing I know, I hear the freaking CNC fire up over there. I'm like, what the heck is he firing the CNC up for? The freaking kid went inside and drew the piece he needed on his computer and cut out a pattern. I just don't know about this generation. Now, I'm not saying this ain't smarter, okay? I just don't know what I'm saying. All I know is he said, hey, look what I built. He did what I asked. He made a pattern. So anyways, now that we have said pattern, he put it on the steel, cut the steel out with the plasma. Now, the problem is our brake is only 4 feet long, so we couldn't make it one piece. Because again, our brake is only 4 feet long. So we're gonna do it in 2 pieces. So here's the first part. The seat ain't quite wide enough for my big butt. So now this is gonna go in here pretty much like that. Now tell me that ain't a pretty nice fit. And we do gotta crimp this edge down once we get it all in. And then this is the hole, so we knew where not to drill. But I mean, that's pretty nice if I do say so myself. So I'll give it to him. I mean, it worked. Not what I was thinking, but it worked. So I guess I'm gonna get a few self-tappers out, and we'll self-tap this puppy on there, and then I can go to town and weld it, and we got to make up the last piece. So give me a few minutes. I'm gonna grab some self-tappers, and we'll get this thing on here, and maybe we'll show you how we'll make up the last little piece. It's already cut over there. We'll bend it and lay it in place. So let's get this thing on, Zach. Okay, so that's good. We'll make up that last piece. Let's go put in the old bender and overbend it. Huh? And then we knew it was a little bit long, just like the other pieces were. Yeah, it's gonna take off. Basically right underneath them holes. Let's start there. Yeah, right here. Yeah. Yeah, me too. It'll be perfect. Hit it with a grinder a little bit. Where's your nibbler?
There.
So how you did it?
No, that's the notcher. That's the step notch.
Oh, well, it didn't notch it, just so you know. In case you were wondering.
But if you got a piece of slag or something, you use the notching side and flattens the slag out. You gotta tip it over, it's full of things. Tip it upside down. It's designed to shoot them out the top.
Right, you?
No, it doesn't shoot them out, it just, you gotta hold it upside down. Because now that it's jammed in there.
Well, help me understand what is happening. That's good enough.
Pneumatic hole puncher.
That's right. So now we're going to do the right thing. Give this thing a paint job. It's amazing how this stuff faded, huh?
Yeah, so the week it was outside.
No, over 2 weeks. Yeah, we'll repaint it. But you can see where we painted it with the paint and where we didn't. Okay, so that needs to go put on. Let me grab a couple of these. little wet paint just helps it seal better. Right, Zach? Sure. There. Ain't going nowhere. Well, that's pretty sweet. That really makes the old firewall a firewall. You can't. Yeah, I think we're gonna stop the fires. So now I'm gonna weld that in. But I think before I weld that in, I'm gonna take a few minutes while the old plasma's over here, and I'm gonna burn out a few extra pieces that I gotta build for the back. So I think I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna get crack-a-lacking on that, and we'll be back.
6 months later.
Well, it's definitely been a minute, as I say down here in the South. Can't believe it's been 6 months since we've touched this car. It is crazy. But I mean, you know, the truck kind of took precedence and it just happened. But we're ready to get back on this. And we're ready to get back on it because the plan is to take this thing on power tour. Yeah, I know, right? That's what I was thinking. Funny guy. Real funny guy. No, I'm serious. I'm thinking we're going to take this on power tour. That seems legit to me. Okay, so you watched the beginning half of this, maybe, and you saw where we're at. Well, it basically hasn't changed any, except for, no, that's in the same plate, rust. We've added rust to the panels, which is, you know, was the plan the whole time. I found almost everything. These are all like the fillers to weld in here. They're rusty, as to be expected. The inside hasn't changed at all. I don't know if Zach can see inside or not, but it's basically we've just added rust to everything, which is what we like. It really goes with the car. So we found all the parts. There goes my pants.
They were anti-rip.
Not these. These rip. Hold on. I need to, I don't know, do something with that. Or I don't even know. Whatever. I just have a holy pair of pants now to wear these church. Yes, because they're holy. I found the patch panels for the back. I haven't made the ones for the window. I remembered I cut a big hole for the battery.
We lost an ass.
No, we lost that a while ago.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, it's somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah, I got it still. I just don't remember where. So I was in the process last 6 months ago was getting this to fit in here somehow. Actually, it was going down in that pocket. So the battery would just slide in and drop in. I guess we'll pick up from there. And then, yeah, I think that's it. I mean, it's, I don't think we need to really go over anything else. You guys saw the beginning of the video. We were laying out some pipes because, you know, they're going to come outside and be extra loud. That's what we like. And then, yeah, besides the extra rust. And then this piece that we can't figure out where it goes. I put a K on it for keep. We found it inside the car. It must have been important by the way I have it cut. But I don't know where it goes. Oh, well, you know. Maybe it'll pop up. Maybe it won't. But it's there just in case it does. So, well, I guess do is we're going to get it lifted up, get the rear tires off from it because I got to be able to get in the back to do the welding and stuff back there. I think Zach is going to fire up the old pop rivet gun, do some drilling in the doors, pop rivet the panels in for the doors, and I got to weld the firewall in. And what else I got to do? I gotta get underneath the car, tack everything that needs to be tacked, clean it up, and undercoat the underside. Sounds like a good week to me, or 2. That's really all we're gonna do, right? And then we're gonna send her out for the old paint job, which ain't getting much paint job, but we're gonna send it out for that and call it good. You're a little late for the party. I've already fixed everything. I've already fixed everything. What are you doing in there? Taking a nap?
Maybe.
That's gonna be the washer.
Is there no metal back there? Minimal.
Yeah, don't even get in the way at all. So you guys ever have one of them projects where the goal is to actually leave as much rust as possible? No? Well, that's what I'm trying to do here. Trying to leave as much rust as possible on this car because that's the goal behind it. So I'm doing, I can't weld any of this because there ain't nothing there. So I'm using these nice pop rivets. But when Zach scuffs all this, and it'll scuff a little of that red off, it'll have a, like a little highlight. We fixed on it. But it won't be like bright red in your face. So, that's why I went red. Seemed like the right thing to do. Probably wasn't, but at least we fixed this. And this. That's all there now. And this hasn't been together in like probably 30 years. That's all there now. I think the tire will clear that. So we'll double check it. I gotta get in here with a grinder and clean this up a little bit. I still gotta clean up this whole edge. And then I guess I gotta do Zach's job and hook the bottom of these doors to themselves. Because they need to be like mainly just to themselves. It's kind of what I'm after, just to themselves. But yeah. So I fixed on all this. I got this all rugged. I got all this back together. None of this was hooked to anything. And I got the bottom of this door hooked together with its own self. And now I'm going to work down here. I'm going to put a little bit in here. But, I'll run the metal up underneath so I can keep on the holes. Because, again, I'm after keeping as much rust as I can on this car. That's the look we're going for. So we're actually getting there with the top of the car and the bottom of the car getting hooked together in the front. They haven't been in a long time. They basically were separate for a while. So I just got a few more to come down through here. A couple tacks in here. I got to do a little bit of grinding, and then I guess we're ready for the cool part after that. Well, I got to put these on too. So, but we'll see. But until then, I just got to keep on going. Pinch it together. Pinch it all back together. Where'd you go? Finish tacking these in. They don't have to be crazy because I'm just going to seam seal them up real good. All looks good to me. Now, that was the old vents that go into the cowl, which is all rotted out everywhere. So I just plugged them the best I could. I know I can't plug around everything here because that's where the wiper stuff goes, but we're going to do our best to just kind of seal up everything we can. We know we're not going to stop all the water from going in the car if it rains, but we want to at least slow it out. That's the goal, right, Zach? Slow the water up. I mean, we don't plan on running it in the rain, but I mean, when you're on these events, it can rain. So if it rains, we want to be prepared. So as you can see, I spot welded the whole firewall up, and I ground it flat, and I dug out Zach's piece that he made for me, and I double checked the fit, and it fits pretty good. Still, I mean, it's a little off, but it's close enough. We got all the pedal stuff bolted in where it needs to go, so that's all pre-drilled. And I guess what we're going to do now is mock in the exciting piece that I've been waiting for 8 months. Zach's been waiting for 7 months because he didn't know about it for the first month. And then you all just don't really know what you've been waiting for because it all is in one video. But anyways, now we can't leave this on. We're going to just mock it in place because we are going to paint this when we spray off the frame. We're going to paint this black right here just to, we don't want rust running down it, in behind it. So we might as well paint it. I'll seam seal all this in. Because again, the goal behind this hot car is not necessarily to get rid of the rust holes. It's to slow down the water getting in the car. We don't mind the rust holes. We just want to slow the water down getting into the car. We're not going to have carpet or anything, so it's really not going to matter. And it's not going to be drove in the rain real crazy. So anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to take the old template, okay, we have here, and we're going to take this chunk of ceiling that I got, which I don't even remember, where did this come out of? I forget now. Some building somewhere. It was up north though. Was it in New York area or somewhere? Or, do you remember? I remember. I got it on the eBays, okay? But it was part of a fancy tin ceiling out of a building. And I thought, what better than a fancy piece of tin ceiling than on a fancy car as a firewall? Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty epic. You don't see this every day. Or any day, really. Except for today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace that out. Now, don't quite make it all the way to the wings. So don't quite make it past here, which is fine because this will be painted black, okay? And that'll actually give us a spot if we need to come out through with any wire. We won't actually have to do anything through the firewall. Now, we will have the brake pedals bolted in here. So we will squish on the, probably his hips. He's probably going to need hip surgery when we're done. And he might need a foot or two. But, I mean, once it'll look fine. Okay? It should look fine. So I'm just going to cut it out. We'll fit it in. And then I'm going to drill it and Cleco it on for pop rivets. Because what we'll do is, after it gets painted, oh, God. I got dust in my throat. And once we get it painted, then I'll pop rivet it on, with red pop rivets. That's what we got. So if you ever want to do this at home, you're going to now know how. I find a white paint marker. So what my plan here is, I don't really have one, is I'm gonna kind of line up the center right here with the center, okay? So I know that's center, so we know that's right. So we're gonna go with that. So first things first, I'm just gonna kind of do this with this. So we know that's center, we know that's hooked, okay? Next, we're going to be more organized than what I really am. That's about 1.25 inches there. It's about 1 inch there. So let's go about 1 1/8 inches. Now, I know this is all bent to crap, but we can kind of go in the middle here. See, it's about 1 1/8 inches. You know, give or take 1 1/8 inches. Give or take 1 1/8 inches. So we can assume that that's going to be close enough. That's what we're going with. Okay? So we're just going to do that with it. Then we're going to do this with it on this side. Okay? So that should pretty much, you know, keep it all the same. Let me double check it here, a couple measurements here. Now it looks pretty nice. Now we're just going to take the old paint marker and we're going to draw pictures on it. Trying to use as much of it as we can, so. That's really it. Now, because the bottom, this is actually where the lip is that sticks out on the firewall. So we're just going to literally roll this over the lip. So really the only other thing I kind of will need, and I think I did mark it over here, I just got to find it. This right here is the center of the steering, and it is here. So really, I just need to, something like that. I'll get a little more precise here in a minute. But that should get us, you know, close-ish. So now we just have to cut it out. That's all we got to do. Not too shabby. Okay, Zach. So now, what we're gonna do, put this in here like this, and this in here like this. Just like that. Okay. So now, what I gotta do is I gotta do a little drilling. So let me get that set up. We'll put a couple Clecos in it and show you kind of what we got going on here. And pow! Okay, so Zach had to help me, so I couldn't hold it and drill it and everything myself, but we just Clecoed it on. So after we paint all this and it's all secure underneath, and we'll go back through, we'll add a few more pop rivets around it. And then that's it. And then the engine will sit in here, and you'll see all behind the engine, because the engine actually sits way out here. So, and we're just going to leave it that color. We'll clear it with the car. Just leave it. So, I think that is pretty epic right there. Just saying. A little bling to the old blinger. So, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the week right here. I mean, we did all the patching on the doors. We did all the patching in the back for that. Firewall's all done. Really, it's just I got a little bit of grinding to do inside. And then I got to undercoat the underside of the car, and it's ready to go out and start getting its paint.